Episode 6 of the Fire Hunter Season 2 starts with Kosher and Mr. Itu finding Hinako at the factory. Then, Kosher discovers Kiri lying around somewhere in the factory and interrogates her. Kiri informs him about some of her treefolk friends' situations and tells him to flee somewhere. Kosher asks Kiri if she knows where he can find Yanagi. Kiri says Yanagi's probably with Konugi. Mr. Itu informs Kosher about the giant pit in the capital, signaling to Kosher that Konugi created it. We briefly cut to Konugi roaring in front of the Divine Palace. Then, we cut to Akira, Kuin, and Tuko investigating an underground environment. The three briefly discuss the strange remarks the Divine Gods shared with them in Episode 5. Then, Tuko spots a few markings on the wall and Akira says the spiders made them, signaling to her that this place may not be safe. Suddenly, the trio ran into two people. Akira somehow peers into the future and realizes one of them has dynamite strapped to his chest. Akira attacks the gentleman and removes his dynamite. The man says he was going to do the boy the favor of taking his life alongside his own. Akira, Tuko, and Kuin continue their journey. Meanwhile, we cut to Kosher, Kiri, and Mr. Itu. Kosher spots Hinako carrying their father's sickle and tells her to leave it behind. Hinako refuses, so Kosher says she can bring it with them. She, Kosher, and Kiri leave Mr. Itu behind to find Yanagi and Konugi. Simultaneously, Akira and her group escape the underground area and arrive at a bridge. Akira shares insight into who the gentlemen were to Tuko. Then, Keiho, one of Tuko's friends she made before she arrived at the capital, notices her. Tuko and Keiho greet each other and Keiho informs her about what she's been up to lately. Akira confronts some collection truck crew members who are accompanying Keiho. The crew members inform Akira about their goals and their ties to Keiho and Shuzu, another friend of Tuko's. Keiho informs Akira that the townsfolk believe everyone should hear the spiders out. She says it's because everyone isn't properly informed about what's happened recently. Additionally, Keiho states it'd be best if Akira became the new lord of the Fire Hunters. One of the crew members opens up about one of his family members perishing and agrees with Shuzu's sentiment. Keiho gives Kuin food and tells Tuko to be careful on her journey. Akira and the others leave Keiho and the crew members and continue their journey. Akira and her group encounter Mrs. Okibi, who appears disheveled. Mrs. Okibi believes Akira and her friends are working for the Divine Clans, but Akira tells her they aren't. Additionally, she tells Mrs. Okibi they're going to the Divine Palace to get Kira back, so she wants Mrs. Okibi to not interfere with their journey. Mrs. Okibi attacks Akira, but Kuin uses his bugs to protect Akira and harm Mrs. Okibi. Mrs. Okibi leaves. After that, Kosher, Hinako, and Kiri spot Konugi and Yanagi doing something near the Divine Palace. Unfortunately, something happens to Yanagi, resulting in her death. Then, Kosher and the others spot Ruri, and Kiri informs the two about who she is. Ruri shares her cleanup plans with our group and asks Kosher if he's the one who made the bottled lightning. She praises Kosher for murdering many spiders with it. As for the flickering flame, Ruri says she wants to bury her, despite everyone wanting to get their hands on her. While Ruri prattles on about each clan's methods and desires, Hinako starts experiencing immense pain. Kosher comforts her. Then, Konugi swipes at our heroes, resulting in Kosher and Hinako getting sent to the Divine Palace's location. Kosher comforts Hinako briefly and notices Takemi standing in front of him. Takemi asks Kosher to hand Hinako to him. The episode closes with a few shots of Kiri and Kosher's father's sickle resting inside Konugi's roots. The episode review. While Season 2 continues to be a mild letdown in the visual department, the story continues to deliver some interesting insight into the Fire Hunters world. Additionally, viewers will love seeing Keiho re-enter the narrative again, despite her reunion with Tuko and the others not lasting too long. While her return didn't offer much value from a long-term perspective, it was touching seeing her and Tuko chat and hug it out. Their moment together will resonate with folks who've had similar reunion-like experiences. Keiho aside, it was also nice seeing Kosher and Hinako reunite. Hopefully, Kosher can obtain some medicine for her as she'll need it to cope with this new body of hers. At the same time, we have a hunch Tuko will still be the true lord of the Fire Hunters by the end of this tale. While everyone is alluding to Akira being the chosen warrior, there were hints in the first season that point toward our theory becoming a reality. As always, we'll have to wait and see on that front. Although this series isn't the most visually appealing, its lore and storytelling are fascinating enough to keep certain anime enthusiasts interested. Hopefully, we'll receive a solid conclusion when all is said and done.